Systems on me. Three screen. ASUS Stevens. Clear for launch. Hands tied, lights flash, red to green. Every breath is gasoline. Code and chaos, pixels and pain. One mistake and you're out of the game. Screens glow bright, heat in my face. Digital track, physical race. Robin's voice cutting through the crowd. Send it, baby, we're running proud. No reset, no second chance. Heartbeat syncs with the engines dancing the noise. I find my calm, adrenaline's my song. Full send nation, burn the line. Every lap we redefine. No fear, no hesitation. Stevens Motorsport domination. Full send nation, rise again. Full send nation, rise again. 40 cars deep, daylight fades. We ride the storm that the engine made. No walls hold when the dream's in gear. You don't drive fast, you disappear. Set up sheet tape to the dash. Tuned by code and a flash of cash. Sweat drips down, white knuckles burn. This ain't practice, it's my turn. Grip the wheel, feel the grind. Chasing ghosts through the online mind. Every lap a brand new war. I ain't lifting anymore. Full send nation, red line ride. Fuel on fire, hearts collide. Triple screen thunder breaking the chain. We don't quit, we live insane. In gears we trust. In rubber we pray. For every wreck, another day. You better hold that line, AJ. Full send. Full send nation, flag held high. Daytona dreams will never die. Stevens Motorsports built to win. Light that fuse and send it again. Full send nation, crank that sound. Engine scream, the world spins round. From the grid to the finish flame, we own the night. Remember the name. Yeah. Stevens Motorsports. Full send forever. Engines live, telemetry synced. Stevens Motorsports, lock it in. Fuel in my veins, fire in my chest. Every heartbeat's louder than the rest.
Good evening, everybody. We are back for another round of the NASCAR Throwback Series from Chicagoland tonight. We've got round 18. These guys are just getting ready to go out and do some qualifying as we speak. We'll get the race info up for tonight's race. Like I said, week 18 here at Chicagoland Speedway. 134 laps on the books. 3 sets of tires on the wall. 66 degrees in the air, 68 on the track. And this is going to be a transition race, so we're going to see things go from what we've got right now to the into total darkness. So and of course it wouldn't be a race if my track map didn't break like usual. I really wish they could get this sorted out. I don't know why they haven't, but all right, so we'll reload the overlay. You got Jeff Pless out on track right now. Everybody though chasing Andrew Phipps tonight. We saw Phipps have a bad race last week, and it kind of worked out for a few guys starting to close down in on the points just a little bit. But hopefully we can see some of these guys start to battle towards the front more, really give the 48 a fight, kind of swing the points back the other direction. How we doing, Diggs? Aaron, what's going on? And we're also live for the first time in a while over on Twitch. I haven't been live over there for a hot minute because the way I had things set up, and I just decided, you know what, heck with it. I changed a few things back, and we got Twitch rolling again. So we're gonna try and do some more double streaming there. But yes, Aaron, yes, Diggs, it's true. I did have to fix the track map, so yeah, we're off to a great start so far. As I see, I'm getting some goofy micro stutters again, and I think that's a Windows update that's causing that. So I think I'm gonna have to rip that off after the video that I saw earlier today. But no, I'm hoping this can be a knockdown, drag out fight. We've got 19 drivers in the field tonight. So, props to everybody for coming out. It's towards the end of the season, numbers start to dwindle, but everything looking really good so far. But as we're looking at Carter Nelson. How we doing, Michelle? Appreciate it, Aaron. I see you over in Twitch as well. I imagine Twitch is going to be pretty quiet tonight, but should have just a few more guys left to qualify. As Gary's going to do his usual wreck it into the outside wall sort of situation after qualifying. Usually signifying close to the end of qualifying for us. Eric Cap, Michael Brock electing not to qualify. So there is a little bit, Diggs. So last season we had issues where guys were getting really loose coming off of 4. And it made for some interesting things. So the drivers have all been alerted, hey, make sure that you kind of pay attention to that. As it looks like the lights have turned on around here. And some of these guys are driving black paint schemes, and there's like a really dark spot right there as you get to pit road entrance. So no, there isn't much of a transition even in the tri-oval. So Kevin Savoy still out turning laps. He didn't get much practice, so I'm not surprised that he's using the rest of practice to test pit road entrance, and that looks like that's going to be the end of it for him. So we'll get some things off screen. We'll get our grid up as soon as that's available. There we go. Get this off screen. All right, well, Aiden Haller going to put it on top of the board with a 30.214. Andrew Phipps going to start to his outside, not what a lot of guys wanted to see. Double D back in the seat for the first time in a few weeks. He starts third tonight. Anthony Crownover is going to start fourth. Jacob Bowen is going to start fifth. Kevin Savoy starts sixth. Jesse Bedell starting seventh. Josh Brock's going to start eighth. Diesel Weasel starts ninth. Gabe Griffin is 10th. Jeff Pless starts 11th. Zachary Korn going to start 12th, moving back a little bit further. We've got Donnell Williams in 13th. We've got Dustin Haynes starts 14th. Gary Freeman's going to start 15th. Anthony McPherson starts 16th. Carter Nelson 17th. Eric Kapp is 18th, and Michael Brock starts 19th tonight. So that is your starting lineup for tonight's race. We'll get a few things back up on screen. We'll get our logos. We'll get our track map. Okay, now this is getting stupid because now our track map is broke again. That's new. I love software, guys. It's the greatest thing ever. All right, I got to turn these guys down in race just a little bit. Yep, I got a key up. There we go. There, you should be good to go. Had some penalties to take care of for tonight's race. But alrighty. Pace car is going to dive off on a pit road. Aiden Haller is going to bring us to the restart zone. And we are green flag racing from Chicagoland. And Phipps is going to jump right out to a very good start with Crownover behind him. And the Hendrick boys look like they're going to try to take it to him early. Aiden coming back on the low side. Crownover elected to take a little bit more of a high arc through the corner. 2x2 down the backstretch we go. Keep in mind, this is a little bit of a bent backstretch. So that's going to change a few things, I think, as the night wears on. Now, the one thing that I can do here, I think lap 3, if we can stay green, I'm going to do a crank it up for y'all and really get these cars a-singing because these things scream. So Phipps is settled into the lead position. It's going to let Aiden kind of rotate through the corner a little better instead of kind of keeping him down. But we're going to head towards turn number 4. I'm going to step aside. We're going to crank this up for a couple of laps. Let you guys hear these things. Andrew Phipps going to continue to lead. Aiden Haller second. Anthony Crownover settled into third. We can see Jacob Bowen is going to try to pressure Crownover, see if he can't get up into that third position. Jesse Bennell looks like he's just kind of riding in fifth, not really pressing the matter. seems pretty confident with where he's at. Maybe try to save a little bit of fuel. Kevin Savoy right with him as well. Double D not far behind. Looks like Aiden going to try to pressure for the lead again. He takes it up the inside. See if he can't get around that 48 machine of Andrew Phipps. Phipps, your points leader, got a pretty decent little margin right now. So, and it looks like Phipps is going to clear Aiden with a little bit of help from his teammate there. Crownover in the 5. 3 wide back by Double D for about 5th position. Gabe Griffin on the bottom. You got Kevin Savoy in the middle. Dennis probably just trying to get a feel for it a little bit, getting back in the sim. And Dennis is actually going to get a hell of a run. Oh, Aiden's a little on the loosey-goosey side as we see Benell mail it up the middle, or up the inside of Bowen. And Dennis looks like he's got this train kind of rolling as he goes to the outside here. Down the back stretch. Crownover has cleared Aiden. He's going to make Aiden check up a little bit behind him. Try to slot back in behind his teammate. That is one thing that this track will do with these cars, is it'll definitely make for a wild 3-wide experience. And especially when you're least expecting it. Dennis going to go to the outside of Crownover. He's going to chase Phipps down this time, down the back stretch. He clears Crownover. So Dennis going to have a nice arc in. Off turn 4. Dennis all over the back of Crownover, or off the back of Phipps right now. My bad, I'm sorry. Phipps continuing to lead the way, though. Top 3 single filed out. Everybody else behind kind of 2 wide, as it looks like Benell and Savoy are starting to possibly clear Crownover here. Aiden Haller faded back to about 7th position right now. 11 laps in. Everybody's still rolling smoothly. Dennis going to take it to the outside now. Phipps going to drop off. Dennis takes over the lead. See if Double D can work a little bit of magic here and check out that biffle paint scheme. He pulls a little bit of a gap over Phipps. Not much, just a little bit. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if we can see these cars really stretch it out by themselves here. Especially with how this track really starts to run. Bowen all over the back of Phipps now. Did we see Phipps maybe run his car a little too hard early on? And Dennis seems to really like that 3rd lane. Must be doing some decent work for him. Into 3 and 4 now. Benell looks like he's trying to move forward a little bit. We'll take a look at that battle, as he's kind of under attack from his teammate right now, which is very uncharacteristic of Jesse Benell. I'm not sure if he's trying to stretch the fuel out, as we've got Diesel Weasel kind of coming into this conversation. He's gotten around Aiden Haller. Diesel on a 2-race NIS winning streak. He got the win at Daytona in the 500. He pulled it off again last week at Atlanta, and he's looking to try to get a win at COTA this week. So, looks like Benell's single filed out. Go back to the front. Dennis still hangs on to the lead momentarily. See how long that can go. 15 laps in. Now let's take a look, see if there's anything else going on. Aiden Haller is falling even further. I think he might have run it a little too hard early on. Still green flag, and then I see there is a heap of folks in a battle right now. We've got Michael Brock, we've got the 11 of Carter Nelson, the 12 of Anthony McPherson, 17 of Gabe Griffin, and Zach Korn in here as well, as Korn pops the wall. See what I did there, Korn pop. That was a funny. Trying to see, we got the 27 of Donnell Williams as well. Back to the front. Phipps starting to pressure Dennis a little bit. See if he can't force him into a mistake. Diggs Coda isn't too bad this week. They removed a lot of the 1X spots. So it's made it a lot more enjoyable to drive. So all right. Double D leads at lap 18. Phipps still all over the back of him with Bowen, Savoy, Bennell, and Diesel. Diesel's still on a tear forward. See if he can get there by the end of the night. Keep in mind, everybody, we have Fast Car this weekend starting at 7 p.m. with Slow Car in the hosted sessions. If you want to get in on that, all you got to do is search the hosted sessions if you're under 1500 iRating. That'll get you into the race. If you're 1500 or over, that's a Fast Car thing. You'll have to make sure you join the Discord to get in on the action, because I got to put you into the league. But Car tomorrow this week at Talladega, and these guys, I think they're in for a treat. I did some things. We'll see if they notice. I don't know if they will. I'm not telling you what that is. But they should have a good race going on for this coming week, as we see Bennell trying to get to the inside of Savoy here. See if he can't get him off that bottom lane. Diesel looking high and looking low. Not really sure where he wants to go. Daryl, don't count out the COT yet. Trust me when I say, just show up and try and drive it. I think you might be pleasantly surprised. It is a custom setup. I was already testing it earlier today. Bennell hangs steady, sitting in 6th. Diesel getting around Bennell on the high lane. I kind of wonder if Jesse's just waiting. He talked about it last week. He kind of burned the tires up a little early, so I don't know. Is he kind of waiting to see what happens, see if he can stretch the fuel, stretch the tires? Hard to say, but like I said, Diesel, the man on the move so far. He's up 4 positions. Biggest mover of the race so far, Michael Brock, he's up 6. Looks like these guys have slowly started to figure out how to run around this joint back here. Go check in on your leaders. So it looks like the top 10, Dustin Haynes bringing up the rear of that lead pack. And I think Dustin's in a really good spot. I think he's in a spot to save some fuel, hopefully save some tires, not push too hard, and try to be right there at the end as we see Anthony Crownover going to the bottom here. Checking out the front again. Ooh, Kevin Savoy gets a little bit of the wall, it looked like there. Yeah, everybody chasing Double D, though. He's, go, see if we can't go off that roll bar. We'll ride along with Double D here for a second. Just cool as a cucumber, not really moving the wheel a ton. Just hanging out. You see him kind of check on entry. Looks like he's got that wall ride figured out. We'll see how that works for him for the rest of the race. He's pulled out a little bit on Phipps. He's up 0.2. Phipps don't want to let him get too far ahead, though. But Dennis he's slinging that outside so well. I got the 27 was off track. That's in the tri-oval. Come back and see what happened there. Oh, just a quarter tap. And there went the 27. So Donnell going to need a little bit of a caution there to get back in it, I do believe. Oh, and we've got a change for the lead as Phipps is taking over the lead there. I wonder if Dennis kind of chopped or maybe smacked the wall. I was looking to see where Dennis got passed. 'Cause while we were away, come back and take a look at that really quick. Yeah, it looks like Phipps just drove him to the high side and then dropped to the bottom. So solid move by Phipps. Again, pretty early though, so not the world's worst thing to have happen. Gives Dennis a chance to save a little bit of fuel, see how the car works in air. So we got Phipps, Double D, Kevin Savoy, your top four, Diesel Weasel in fifth, Jacob Bowen runs sixth, Dustin Haynes up 8 in that number 3 machine. He sits 6th position. Then you got Jesse Bedell sitting in 7th, Anthony Crownover is 8th, Josh Brock 9th, Aiden Haller is 10th. We come back a little bit further to Jeff Pless. He's not far off of these guys. I think he can get back in it. Then we got Gary Freeman sitting in 12th. Carter Nelson is 13th. Korn is currently 14th, trying for 13th. Gabe running 15th. Michael Brock is 16th. Anthony McPherson 17th. Eric Kapp 18th. And Donnell Williams is running in 19th. Well, now the questions start to come up of when do we see pit cycles? Diesel's still trying to get things going. He's up to 4th. See if he can get to Kevin Savoy. I guarantee, Diggs, he's probably running a fuel save mode. Knowing Eric Kapp and the way that he runs, I mean, the man is the only guy to finish fast car with a 0X last week. Sits 5th in the points and finished 21st because of the way we weighted it. So Andrew Phipps continues to lead. I don't really see Double D moving around too much. So I think he's just kind of riding, waiting to see what happens. Kevin Savoy going to try to come around the bottom side of Double D right here. He's got a better drive towards turn number 1. Diggs, there's a reason we call him the silent assassin. Savoy going to clear Double D. Dennis going to come right back on him here in turns 3 and 4. As Savoy comes back. We've got Josh Brock going to head to pit road this time. I thought I heard Michael Brock say he's coming to pit road, so we are starting to see green flag stops. Dustin Haynes was going to pit in and decided better against it. Oh, Josh Brock with a speeding penalty on pit road. That's not what he wanted to see. So I think now you're going to see these guys really start to stretch out here. Andrew Phipps leads across the line. I gotta imagine the leaders are gonna want to stretch this as far as they can. I just cannot justify short pitting when we've got a little less than 100 laps to go, but now we know they can go somewhere in that 35 to 30, 38 range. Josh Brock still sits on pit road. We've got sound like Bowen pitting this time, so the 18's gonna pit this time. 88's coming to pit road. Things are 5 cars pitting in. I imagine, yep, here comes Phipps. Can he get it down far enough? Looks like he did. So Kevin Savoy going to take over the lead. He's got a 0.8 lead over Bowen. I guess Savoy going to come to pit road. Aiden Haller going to come to pit road. Bowen coming this time as well. It's pretty much everybody else. Does he get it slowed down in time? He gets her slowed down. Diesel Weasel stretched it out a little bit further. We've got all the Hendrick cars coming off of pit road. Double D's way out, or not Double D. Diesel Weasel way out in front. Everybody's on pit road right now, which is kind of comical. Diesel playing it smart, getting it down early. So he'll come down pit road. Kevin Savoy is off of pit road. Can he get out in front of Phipps and the gang? He gets off of pit road before him. So he gets out in front of Phipps cleanly. Diesel's still on pit road. And Diesel's just come off of pit road. So Kevin Savoy's going to be your leader. He's got an extra lap of fuel. So like I said, we should see pit cycles in another 35 to 38, somewhere in that range, depending on what these guys are going to do. Andrew Phipps going to try to take it to the bottom side. And he does. He takes the lead from Kevin Savoy, but Kevin stays up on the track, doesn't hit the apron, and catches back up and around the outside again. Savoy back to the lead. We got Andrew Phipps running second, but here comes Crown over. He says, I want to get a lap lead. Still clean running up front for the top 5. Double D hanging on to the back of the field there. Crown over going to try to get to the bottom side of Phipps. You get the 2/3 of the Hendrick boys running the bottom, and then it switches momentum a little bit. They kind of trade back and forth. Still clean through lap 43. Dennis goes back to that outside lane. was looking to see over here on my board, we could see what fastest lap was and what lap it was on. And I'm not seeing that on my list. But we've got a complete hornet's nest here in front of the 27. Donnie there in the 27 is your first car a lap down, so realistically, he's just got to hang on to these guys. I think if he can, we should be good. Diggs, it sounds like Gabe got a speeding penalty and called it a night. Or maybe he got more of a penalty than a speeding penalty. Dennis is trying to get back towards the front. Or get back to the lead, I should say. Excuse me. But it's all Kevin Savoy out in front right now. Dennis trying to go to the outside of Phipps. Can't quite get there. Still green flag, though. Let's see if we got anything else going on around this track. Bowen's out here by himself. Aiden's kind of in that same boat. They're just a little bit off the back of the pack in front of them. Then we come back to Dustin Haynes, who leads Diesel Weasel around here. They're in 8th and 9th, and you've got Gary, Korn, and Carter with 10th, 11th, and 12th. Got McPherson, Michael Brock, Eric Cap, Donnie in the 27 car, Josh Brock, and I do believe Jeff Pless got a speeding penalty as well, or otherwise he wouldn't be this far down. So, but back up front, Double D's been shuffled out. He's in between. Oh, and Dennis taps the wall. Got a little bit more of that than I think he wanted. That's what happens when I start talking about him. Kevin Savoy still leads across the start-finish line. We're almost 50 laps into this thing, so kudos to these guys for keeping it clean. Kind of wild out in front right now. I'm not sure. I heard Korn say something. I don't know what's going on. But right now, everybody kind of single filed out all the way around this track. As we see, as Benell makes a liar out of me and heads towards the bottom to try to get around Phipps and maybe go after Savoy here. Yeah, we saw Benell go a little bit easy early on. Maybe now that he's had a good look at his tires, he knows when he can push it, he knows when he can't. Because this is going to let Kevin kind of pull away a little bit. Because he's doing a little bit of aero blocking too. So Kevin Savoy trying to make any sort of headway that he can away from these guys. He keeps giving them dirty air, hoping that the front end pushes. So I'm sure Kevin knows a thing or two about what's going on with this car. Brown over around Benell. I think it's just going to be interesting on where they're going to be able to pull their runs from. I don't necessarily think I mean, unless you've got a group of guys riding the high line, right? I don't think you're going to see a lot of guys go to the high line and make it prevail, at least if it's a single car. You're going to need a few of them. And Kevin is doing the old dragging down the backstretch, trying to break that draft and get away. He's trying to get him to go left, right, and center here. Kevin, man, just about the time I think he's going to start to break that draft. Here comes Dennis up the inside. See if he can't maybe help Savoy out a little bit here. And Dennis going to lose a position, it looks like, because he's got no help on the bottom. I'm kind of be interested to know when Savoy's going to rotate to the back maybe and try to save some more fuel. You know, we are starting to kind of creep in on the next round of fuel stops. If we mark it as 35, we should see him start to come in around lap 70. So about 14 more laps, we'll probably see a lot of those guys start to come down. And so far, it's been smooth sailing. The question is when's the first caution actually going to come out here? Phipps going to try to the bottom. And I don't necessarily know if they really want to try to pass him. The Hendrick cars all seem to be just kind of stagnated with each other, but I don't really see Phipps like sending the underside to try to get around. These guys are slowly creeping up on Eric Cap. Down into 3 and 4 again. Crownover going to try and shoot the bottom this time. Yeah, it's like the bottom just isn't there. Crownover shot it to the bottom and just couldn't get anything going with it. I was kind of surprised. I figured the top they'd have to check up more, but let's do this. Go off the nose of Double D for a minute so you can kind of see what they're looking at. See, Crownover loses, but then when we come down into the turn, you're going to see Crownover come from the left side of your screen. He's going to move forward, but it just doesn't have the drive off as you see Phipps start to go after Kevin Savoy again, trying to use that bottom just ever so little to not chew up the tires too much. I think Diesel's been trying to get around Dustin Haynes for quite a while. This is the battle for 8th. That's a valid point, JD. If you're watching, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Don't forget, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. That helps as well. Back to the front we go. Jesse Bedell's going to go around the bottom side of Andrew Phipps. Down across the start-finish line we go. Phipps going to try to come back on the outside. I think Savoy's just having fun controlling the whole dang thing. Here comes Double D around the outside of Benell. It's like these guys leave the door open to the outside, and it definitely lets things happen. I don't know if they're necessarily trying to leave it open to the outside, but, you know, it just seems like that's the way it's working, trying to grab draft from anywhere they can as Dennis continues to try the wall. Benell going to throw a slider on him. He's going to throw the Dale Jr. slide job. Oop, Dennis up into the wall just a little bit. He continues to run that outside, though. Benell going to actually slide it up there this time. Dennis not going to have anywhere to go with it. It's got about 5 more laps, and then we should start to see green flag pit stops again. That's exciting. 2 green flag pit stops in a row. Phipps going to look to the inside of Kevin Savoy again. You've almost got to wonder if any of these guys have tried doing some clutching to extend this a little bit longer. But I think even if they pit at 70, they'll still have to pit at least one more time. So if we go off of lap 70 plus 35, that takes us to lap 105, and you're gonna have to stretch it to make it to the end anyways. So you've got to at least make, I think you've got to make lap 70. If you can't make lap 70, I don't think you're gonna make the end on one stop. Phipps looks to the bottom. Benell coming with him as well. Ooh, Benell gets the wall hard. See if we can get a good look at that car as it goes by. I just heard Dustin Haynes say he's pitting. Josh Brock coming to pit road. I do believe Michael Brock is coming to pit road as well. We're going to stay here with the battle as your leaders close in on Eric Kapp. He's not that far out in front of them. One more lap, and then these guys should have plenty of fuel to make that last pit stop at about 105. Everybody single filed out up here. I'm sure some of these guys are listening to this broadcast, so I shouldn't give away too much as far as fuel strategy. Diggs, I kind of wonder the same if he's been too close and it's been pushing. But I guess we'll see. These guys going to stretch it a lot further, I think. Probably try to take as little fuel as possible on that last stop. Waiting to hear if anybody else is coming to pit road. I haven't heard anybody else call it out yet. '88's coming to pit road. Any other takers? I don't hear any other takers. I think Jesse Bennell's pitting by himself. See if he can get it slowed down in time. Ooh, get her down, Jesse. He does. Man, that is a wild one to get down to. Kevin Savoy continues to lead. Still no calls for pit road yet. 18 is called. He's coming in as Crownover gets the wall there on entrance into turn number 3. Double D coming down to pit road. He makes her. 98-48. I hear Aiden coming as well. And Crownover. So the top 3 are going to come to pit road this time by. I hear Carter coming. See if these guys can get down to speed. They all do. So Diesel probably going to stay out here. Remember, he was the last one to pit last time. Does he do the same thing this time and try to stretch it even further? Nope. Diesel says, I'm coming this time. So Diesel's going to come to pit road here. Diesel gets her down to the flat pretty quickly. See if he should easily be able to make pit road speed limit. He's good. So Eric Cap. I think Eric might lead a lap here unless he's going to pit in. Nope, Eric going to pit in. That will hand the lead off to Jesse Bennell here. And Jesse's got a little bit of a gap. Just about a second over Kevin Savoy, so he kind of played it good with the early pit. I think he knew, okay, I can pit here, make it to there, and be good to the end and maybe get a little bit of a gap. We'll see if Kevin can close it in. As he's got a little bit of a lead over Double D. Crown over there with him. We'll see how well these guys pack back up. But I do see the gap from Kevin Savoy shrinking. What's going on, Mr. Carpenter? We'll get this off of our screen. Jesse Bennell out in front by 0.4 over Kevin Savoy, and Kevin's been closing it in lap after lap and pulling away from Double D. You see Kevin getting bigger in the rear view mirror. He's got Bennell's draft. The question is, can he do anything with it? Or does he just ride and wait? So Savoy getting ever so closer. Looking at a couple of things. Savoy's only on 2-lap newer tires, but I think he's going to make Jesse try to burn up as much fuel as he can. As the battle for the lead heats up, Dennis is getting closer. They're down to 1.4 now. They were at about 1.7, so we'll come back and take a look at Double D and Crownover, see if they can hook up, come forward, and run these guys down. They are obviously in a 2-pack, so they could tandem draft up there. They have gapped Andrew Phipps. I don't think Phipps at about 1.4 back from Crownover, almost 1.5. Then we come back to Jacob Bowen and Aiden Haller. That's 6th and 7th. Dustin Haynes running 8th. after a rough week last week. Diesel Weasel sits 9th. And then we've got Zach Korn just sitting inside the top 10. See if he can start making a run at old Diesel Weasel. But this is where the battle lies. And if we go off the nose of Double D, these boys are getting closer in the windshield. He's got him down to 1.1. So we'll have to see if they can get there. They've got, they got time. We said we could go to 105 once we hit lap 7. These guys went a little bit past. So Double D going to try and track these boys down, get back in this fight. Back to the battle for the lead. Savoy just kind of riding. Makes you wonder if he isn't thinking about tire save, fuel save, so that way he doesn't have to take, maybe he's got to figure it out. Maybe you're only going to take, maybe you're not going to take left side tires. You're just going to take rights, fuel, and ship it. That might be the call. We'll have to see. Double D's got him down to 1.1. Kind of looked like Savoy popped the wall there for a second, used it to turn, but I could be wrong. Man, they have put a gap on your points leader. Andrew Phipps, he sits about 3 seconds back from your leaders right now, and he's all alone in no man's land. Got Double D and Crownover. Crownover was taking a really low run through the bottom of 1 and 2, and he does it again here in 3 and 4. So I don't know if he's just trying to arc it to try to save the rears or what's going on. They are reeling them in, though. They're down to 0.9 now. So what they're doing is working. They just got to keep digging just a little bit further. Dennis is almost inside of that draft. Almost a 0.7. Go watch these two as Savoy tries to take it to Benell. Savoy gets it done, but man, that really let Dennis and them guys catch up. Crownover 0.7 now. He's gotten around Dennis. Benell going to take it to the inside of Savoy. That's going to let them continue to catch. Side by side, they door across the start-finish line area. And now we're going to have a four-way battle for this lead. Benell just barely clearing Savoy on exit. Savoy going to go to the bottom side. Ooh, it gets tight. Savoy drops it right down. He's clear at the moment. Golly, this is getting interesting. Meanwhile, Double D's sitting back here watching the whole thing go down. As we see Crownover try to get close to Benell now. Savoy continues to lead out front. Got about 10 laps before we may see pit stops again, at least. Crownover going to try and go around Benell. They make contact in the tri-oval. Crownover's really working that paint on the bottom. He's going to go around Benell. Yeah, we still got one more round of stops, Kyle. Oh, somebody got the wall, but it was like a neck coat hit. That was wild. Crownover is pushing to get around Savoy to get a lap lead. Crownover can't quite do it yet. He's got something figured out on that bottom, though, because he was doing this even with Dennis. So I'll be interested to see if he can pull it off. He's going to go for it this time. Can't quite throw the slider. Savoy's still right there. We've been green since the get-go. We have not had a caution yet. Let's actually, we'll check, pull up the race recap here. 93 laps in, no caution. 9 lead changes so far tonight. And if Crownover can get there, it'll be 10. And it looks like he's finally going to pull it off. He'll slide up in front of Savoy. Yeah, we're already through 2 green flag pit stops. We got 1 more left to go. So, yeah, your top 4 all real close. Phipps has actually closed it in a little bit now that he's starting to get a little bit of drafting help from Bowen and Aiden. So Phipps is going to need a damn good stop and some drafting help as soon as he can get off pit road. I think if he wants to catch these guys, he's almost gotten to within 2 seconds because these guys are still battling it out up front. So Crownover leads. We are getting to a giant pack of lapped cars. I believe that's McPherson, Carter. I think we've got Gary and Michael Brock in that group there. Savoy trying to get to the bottom side, see if he can't go around them. My guess is that Savoy wants to get to those lap cars first and try to make his way through them as smooth as possible. And go off the back of Jeff Bless's machine. They are getting close. Savoy takes over the lead from Crownover. We've got the draft of the lap cars. So where is Savoy going to go? Does it make sense to use the high lane, or do you just go the opposite of what you see everybody else doing? Savoy going to hang the high lane at the moment. Mind you, some of these guys still racing for position right now. Savoy going to be smart. Go to the high side here. Later, Aaron, we'll catch you at some point, I'm sure. They start to navigate more of the lap cars. Michael Brock stays to the bottom. Savoy tries to come around. He's up to Gary. You just got to pick through smart and not pick the wrong lane. And I think that top lane is probably for the best. Gary to the bottom. Oh, good Lord, as he's trying to find his way around Carter Nelson. Savoy going to go to the high side again. I heard somebody call out pitting. Not sure who that was. 5 car comes to pit road. He barely makes it. Kevin Savoy still trying to work his way around the lap car, Gary Freeman and Carter Nelson. Looks like Savoy's gotten around Gary. Gary got to go to the bottom side. Carter holds the top at the moment. Savoy to the bottom. Bennell makes it through as well. Double D trying to get around Gary now. I heard 18 coming to pit road. Kevin Savoy continues to stay out. He's trying to get past Carter Nelson now. We got about 19 cars in the field so far tonight. Savoy back to the bottom. Dennis going to try and pull draft off Savoy, I guess. Oh, his Carter's in the wall. Holy crap. Savoy has called out that he is coming to pit road. We're going to see if he can make pit road cleanly. Double D gonna come with him. Oh, he makes it. They both make it. So Jesse Bedell's gonna be your leader. He's cleared Carter. And he's about 2.3 seconds out in front of Aiden Haller. Jesse gonna come to pit road this time as well. He's going to be all by himself, which isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world, but we'll make sure that he can hit pit road at speed limit. Oh, man, that thing was twitchy on entrance. So Aiden's going to take over the lead. How we doing, Martin? Waiting to hear Aiden call out that he's pitting. I've not heard it yet. I have not heard Aiden call out that he's pitting, so he may try to stretch it all the way out and see what he can do with it. Still nothing out of Aiden. You've only got 5 cars on the lead lap. And he's almost got at least 2 more a lap down. Well, you could be me, Diggs, and you could have iRacing glitch until you reboot the machine. That's always a fun time. Aiden still continues to lead. I want to see where Crownover and those guys are. Crownover and Phipps are right back here. They're 6th and 7th a lap down right now. Then you got Savoy. And then Bennell and Double D trying to come forward. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what Aiden does here. Oh, that's fun, Diggs. Aiden continuing to lead, though. I'm not sure I would have stayed out because now you've let 2 of the fastest guys in the field catch you, which they're going to unlap themselves. By the time you hit pit road, they're going to be gone. Corn says he's going to pit this time. I'm kind of wondering if he's thinking about staying out until 20 to go, but I think he's just going to give up too much time. Although he may be hoping that the 5 and the 48 coming through the lap traffic may cause it, or well, I should say lead lap traffic may cause an issue. I don't know. But they clear them pretty cleanly, actually. Aiden is coming to pit road this time. What's wild is the entire pack is basically caught back up to itself, at least for the moment. As you see Aiden coming to pit road. He makes it to speed. Wow, that's a save. That was a save. All right, we're going to check out Diesel. He's out in front now. Or he'll take over the lead here shortly. So I would expect Diesel yep, Diesel's coming to pit road. So that leaves Crownover and Phipps out in front. And that means Savoy has got to dig a second back to the lead. The big question is, who pitted when? Crownover came in on 100, Phipps on 102, Savoy on 103. Double D is somewhere. Dennis got smacked into the wall or got spun, one of the two. That's going to take him out of it. He sits 11th right now. Savoy 1.2 back. You see him right there by the track map. I do think they've got time to catch. I think if these guys start to kind of do some weird stuff with the draft, I think that's going to let Savoy catch in. He's already got him down to a second. My guess is he's going to make it very, very interesting. Sandman, you're not wrong. Savoy's got him down to 0.9. So you got Savoy and Benell trying to catch back up. Got him down to 0.8 right now. Plenty of time, though. Wow, he is just pulling in the time at the moment. We'll see if he can get there. For a while, it looked like Phipps wasn't going to have much of a run. And now things have worked out in the other direction. 0.5 for Savoy. 19 laps to go, 18 at the line. It's been the story of these four most of the season, save for a few wrecked situations. Savoy continues to pull these guys in. Benell's kind of staled out at about 0.9 right now. He's in that 1 second range. Oh, Phipps gets the wall. Well, now Savoy is there. The question is, does Benell join this show? Or do they start to pull on Benell? But it looks like Benell is starting to come forward as well. Savoy wasting no time going after Phipps. And he's going to try to go after Crownover here in just a minute. 16 to go when we hit the line. Does Phipps extend his points lead? Does it finally get chewed into a little bit here? We're going to have to find out. Savoy goes to the bottom, Phipps to the top again. You see Benell getting closer and closer. He's down to half a second. Crownover continues to lead. Savoy's going to have to make his way around Phipps sooner rather than later if he wants a shot at Anthony Crownover. And he's going to take it right now. He moves to the bottom. Drops right in behind Crownover. Can he clear Phipps? He cannot. As they're starting to catch the lap cars of Diesel Weasel and Zach Korn. Has Savoy used up the tires? That's another question as well. They stay to the high side this time. Try to get the run on Crownover off corner. Oh, Savoy in the wall. He's still in the wall. He saves it. Crownover continues to lead. Phipps, Benell, Savoy, your top four. Go back a little bit further. You've got Jacob Bowen all by himself, and then Aiden Haller way back here. And then we've got Dustin Haynes sitting in 7th place, and Dennis has made his way from 11th all the way back up to 8th. So he's turning things around as we go back up front. 12 laps to go. Still anybody's race up here in the front. I think you're right, Diggs. I think he's got to let him cool down a little bit. Maybe try to make a run with about 5 to go. Because it's an all Hendrick top 3 right now. And if I know anything, Kevin Savoy wants to interrupt that more than anybody. Ten laps to go at the line. Oh, God! Reckon 1 and 2. Reckon 1 and 2. We got to go back and look at that. It looked like Crownover just rotated out of nowhere. I'm not really sure what happened. Oh. We're going to have to go to the blimp. Watch Phipps and Crownover. They barely make contact. That rips the nose off of Kevin Savoy's car. Oh, man, that's a hard hit. That is a hard hit for Savoy. That's not going to be good. All right. Well, all these guys are probably going to come to pit road for that last set of tires and probably some damage repair. All right. Everybody coming down pit road. Well, this is going to change a few things. We're going to have a couple of guys stay out, take the wave around here. Let's go put Diesel Weasel to the lead. Oh, Kevin Savoy's got 8 minutes. Phipps, once you come off of pit road, let me know and I'll get your EOL. Well, yeah, this definitely shakes some things up. So you got the 11, the 6, and the 1 all taking a wave around. That'll put them back on a lead lap. But man, that's some heartbreak for Savoy and Crownover. That sucks. Double D stayed out here. It was some definitely great racing, that's for sure. I can find my thing here. 48. You should be good, Phipps. Alrighty. So Andrew Phipps going to move to the back of the pack here as he claimed that wreck. So he'll have a long road to hoe to get to the front. Let's just check out. Kevin Savoy has no-nos. Yeah, restart zone is enabled. I wanted to see where Crownover was. Crownover's not too bad, but yeah, Savoy, unfortunately, with some major damage here. I'm not sure why it extended the pace laps. All right, lights are off this time. We'll go green. Kyle, they're not yet. They are angry. They know they have lost, but I don't see a fist fight down in turn number 3. There you go. All right, so you got Diesel out front, Jacob Bowen to his outside, Double D's back in this thing, so's Aiden. I'm pretty sure Korn and Benell may be on freshies. I'm going to double check that before we get going. Actually, Diesel's the only one on old tires. This is going to get really interesting. Appreciate that, fan. All right, pace car's off. Diesel's in control. Once we hit the restart zone, we're going to get this thing kicked off. We're green flag racing. So remember, Diesel's on old tires. Diesel hangs on right now. Bowen's going to go to the outside. I can't imagine that Bowen is going to sit there waiting. And he's going to go to the outside as well. Dennis to the bottom. Can he get around Diesel and get in front of Bowen? 4 laps to go and we cross the stripe. Benell to the bottom with a power move around Diesel. Dennis is going to have to hit the bottom if he wants to cover Benell. It's Benell and Bowen out in front. Or, I'm sorry, Bowen and Dennis out in front. Dennis going to fade in. About second place. We'll see if he cuts it down to the bottom here. Aiden's going to mail it into the bottom now. Bowen leads out in front. Aiden and Dennis are going to run second place. Dennis going to try to get around the outside of Aiden. We got Dustin Haynes coming up into this picture too. Can Dustin put it into the top 3? He clears Aiden. Dustin running the high lane. They're going to have more speed when they come off the corner than everybody on the bottom. Bowen to the bottom. He's going to lead with 2 laps to go. Double D leads the rest of the pack. Dustin Haynes to the bottom side of Dennis. Can he get around Dennis off the bottom? He's going to cover Aiden to the top. Here comes Bedell. Dennis runs the high lane. Bowen still leads. 1 lap to go when we cross the line. White flags in the air. This thing's gone official. Who's going to take the last 2 spots on the podium? It's all Bowen out in front. Oh, Aiden's loose. He catches it. That's going to give it to these 2 guys. Who's going to finish where? Bowen out in front. Dennis in second. Dustin Haynes sits third. Coming out of turn number 4, it's going to be Jacob Bowen. At the line is your winner. Who's going to get second place? Double D gets it. Dustin Haynes top 3. That was a wild race to the finish. Man. Man, oh man, oh man. To answer your question there, fan, they run every Wednesday night. They kick off at, I get the stream started about 8:10. They're going to have 7 more rounds to go for this series, so we'll have interviews with the top 3 here in just a minute. We're going to get race results up on screen. All right, so Jacob Bowen going to come home with the win. And then we've got Double D sitting in second. Dustin Haynes is third. Aiden fourth. Jesse Bedell, fifth. Zach Korn going to come home sixth. Diesel Weasel seventh. Andrew Phipps is eighth. Gary Freeman finishes in ninth. Josh Brock is 10th. And then Anthony Crownover 11th. Kevin Savoy 12th. After that hard lick into the outside wall, Carter Nelson comes home 12th. Or Carter Nelson comes home 13th, Michael Brock 14th, Eric Kapp 15th, Jeff Pless is 16th, Anthony McPherson 17th, Donnell Williams is 18th, and last but not least, Gabe Griffin in 19th. All right, well, we're gonna get your winner in here. Let me get a couple of things up on screen just so I got it, and we're gonna grab the man of the hour. Bowen, you kind of got a gift there via Anthony Crownover and Andrew Phipps to bring you back into it. You didn't lead a lot, but you led the laps that counted.
And all I needed was to lead those last 5, I guess. I am shaking like a leaf right now, AJ. I'm not gonna lie to you,
dude. I can imagine. That I was watching. You and Aiden were having a good battle all race. You guys kind of seemed content with about 4th or 5th, but could never really get up there to battle with the lead group. And then we get the caution. You guys clear it without issue. So it kind of gives you a new breath at life. And I thought that Dennis and Benell were going to challenge you guys a lot harder. But it looked like Benell got kind of trapped by maybe Aiden, and Dennis just couldn't make the run. I don't know if he had damage from the incident earlier with you in the race, but overall, a clean run to the end. Yeah,
I spun Dennis there, and I still feel horrible. I hadn't been side by side since the beginning of the race, and with the track getting rubbered in and warmer, it took off on me. I had nothing I could do to stay. Well, I guess I did. I could have slammed the brakes and killed me and Mac, but I didn't want to do that either.
I was gonna say that never sounds like a fun day.
But yeah, it was fun. That was a great run there to the end. When I came out of turn 2 with 4 to go, I saw them get side by side, and I kind of knew I just had to run, and run I did. I don't think I've ever run that fast in this car before.
I was gonna say just drive your ass off.
Yeah, and it's cool with a different number too. I've won twice this season with 2 different numbers.
Right. I was kind of wondering if tires were going to play into it there at the end. I know you guys were going long on tires, and then with what we saw out of the top 4 before the wreck happened, looked like everybody was pushing pretty hard. Did it start to get really slick late into that race, or was it just a fact of wear?
I wouldn't say slick. It was, if anything, it turned to more and more of a tractor as the race went on. Like it did not want to turn the way you wanted it to turn. And like what happened between me and Dennis,
Right.
the moment I got that dirty air on the right side of the car, it just took off on me.
Yeah, that's never a fun time. I've experienced that in an 87, and there's no saving that.
But it was gone, and I tried to lift. I lifted to about half and turned harder to try and stay out of Dennis. And the
Oh God.
moment it made contact, I came out of the throttle, and I was already going straight through Dennis by that point.
Oh, that's never a fun time. And you feel so helpless when it happens. Like there's just nothing you can do.
Well, I love Dennis, man. I don't want to murder Dennis.
Right? Nobody wants to murder Double D.
Double D is the man.
Right? Well, first place on the night. Yes, there was the incidental contact, but all in all, I don't think Dennis is going to complain too much at this point. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go for the night?
Aiden, awesome push there to get me to the outside of Diesel with those 5 to go. I don't think without that push I would have gone anywhere as fast as I did. So that was awesome. Big shout out to him for, us running clean there too for the longest time. I was content with racing him to the end, but kind of got gifted a win there. And as much as it's a cheaper win than winning it on outright speed, a win is a win, and I'll take whatever I can get.
No, I hear you there. I mean, I've had them happen to me before like that, so I wouldn't complain.
Oh yeah, not complaining. And then finally, I guess you for putting on this broadcast, Josh for not kicking me out of this league yet, and everyone that supports me, my parents, my girlfriend, they're all awesome people, and I love them, and I love you guys too.
Awesome. Well, like I said, congrats on the win tonight. We'll let you go celebrate it, and hopefully we get to talk to you again next week, bud.
I'm gonna go take a nap, man. The adrenaline's wearing off.
I don't blame you. Good job tonight, man.
See you, bud. Thank you.
Yep. Jacob Bowen, everybody. All right. Well, let's get the man that got spun early or about midway through the race. He hasn't been in a car in a hot minute. Dennis, you pulled off a second place tonight. You led 14 laps. Had that little mishap with Bowen a little bit earlier tonight. And then everything kind of resets for you and puts you in a great position for second place.
Yeah, it was around like 116, so 20 to go. Bowen gets tight. Me trying to guard the position. I heard him have the lift out of it. Tried giving him room, and I guess I could have gave him a little more, but it happened. Spun down the bottom, and then I'm just in the mindset of I'm just going to try to ride around and recoup as many positions as I can, get the yellow, and I'm buried in the field. I'm like, I'm going to throw right sides on this. I'm like, we're going to have less than 10 to go, throw right sides, get track position, see if I can rip the lip like I had been doing most of the race. And
well, I mean,
I'm lucky it kind of just fell into place.
It seemed to work out. I could tell you didn't necessarily have the drive that Bowen did off the corner, it seemed like. But, when you think about it, if Bowen doesn't get into you, you're probably in the middle of that wreck.
Yeah, probably. I haven't looked back and seen what was going on or what happened with the wreck, but I remember running this car track combo before, and I was the first one to venture up before as well. And I remembered that, and I was probably one of the first ones to venture up. I think I went to the top right away, like lap 2 or 3. I was already searching the top, and I went from like 6th to 1st, just running the lip where no one else was running.
Right.
I just, with this car, it's you need your nose in clean air. If you can get it into clean air, and if you want any kind of momentum down the straights, you got to keep this thing wound up. It's a momentum based car. You lose that momentum, you're falling back.
Right. Yeah, and I kind of figured that's what you were kind of trying to do, because we saw a lot of guys move to the bottom and they could make it work, but it didn't seem to really come in until late in the run for those guys. It seemed like if you were going to try the bottom, you didn't want to do it in the first half of the run. But it seemed like
what stalls out the bottom is the momentum on top. If you got a line of guys around the top, you're not going to get the pull down the straightaways, just like any other big track. Like Michigan's a perfect example, just like this, where if you're on that bottom lane, there's a line of cars on the outside, you might as well back up and tag on, because you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And that's what, if there's any sort of line, there's 3 to 4 guys on that outside and you're solo on the bottom, you're not going anywhere.
Right. Well, you came back to it, like I said, come back to a second place position or finish, after not being in the car for a little bit. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before I let you go for the night?
Brock for putting the league on, for all the admins in the league for keeping this thing going. You for broadcasting. I know I haven't been full time in the league, so Brock's still let me jump in and fill in when I can. So I appreciate that. And just this group of guys that we get to race with, we went almost green to checkered. So it's definitely in a harder track, a car track combo, because this thing is funky. Like, you've seen a lot of guys swat the wall, where this thing would get arrow tight out of nowhere. So
yeah, for sure. So, well, like I said, congrats on the second place tonight. We'll let you go, and hopefully you're back here again next week, bud.
I'm hoping so, but
I hear you. I got to get with you a little bit later, but I'll let you go for now so I can get Dustin in here.
All right, will do.
All right, bud. All righty. Well, that was Double D. We got one more to do. It's been a minute since we talked to Dustin Haynes, and man, you were running good all race, and then all of a sudden we get to that restart, and you're right in the thick of it, and almost pulled off a second place tonight.
Yeah, I just couldn't get around Daly. He was too fast. I wasn't expecting going on ahead and getting the top 3 out of all of it. I was just trying to keep the car clean, and ended up working out for me in the long run, thankfully.
Well, I mean, you were challenging those guys early on. We saw you in that like group of 10, and at one point you're just kind of hanging at the back, and then all of a sudden you're like third, and it seemed like you guys kind of all cycled around in that group together really cleanly for the kind of racing you guys were doing. So, to come back, especially with, like we were talking with Dennis just a minute ago, and even Bowen, you guys all kind of got, a gift right there with about 8 or 9 to go. So to come back and finish third in a very, very close second, I don't think there's much to argue at there.
No, I needed that pit stop. I needed to get those fresh tires. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had a chance to go on ahead and really do anything at the end there. I was just riding along, waiting for the end.
Well, and I think with this car, like Dennis said, it's a little bit tricky, and this track as a whole, even when we ran Gen 6s here, it ate tires, right?
Yeah.
So it's tough to keep the speed, tough to keep the momentum, and almost to a point, it kind of gets you to a point where it almost discourages you, because you feel like you've saved the tire, you've saved the fuel, and you just can't go anywhere.
Yeah. That's usually kind of how it feels for me in most races that I get into, because I'll run really good, then I'll hit a roadblock somewhere, and then the rest of my race just kind of falls apart. So I'm relatively used to that kind of going on whenever I go out anywhere.
Well, a third place tonight is a hell of a turnaround.
Oh, nothing to stop that. Oh, no, it's all because of that caution. 100%. All because of that caution. I got lucky seen that gap high, and I was just like, I wonder, I'm either gonna wreck myself or I'm gonna get it in there. And I threw her up high between the wall and Buddy, and I just got on the outside of him, and it was all right.
Well, and I kind of wondered too, did you take 4 or did you take 2?
I took 4. I'm not smart enough to take 2.
Well, see, Dennis took 2, but it looked like he didn't have the drive that Bowen had.
Yeah.
Like, it looked like if you could have cleared Dennis without the dirty air and everything, I think you would have had something to go after Bowen with, because, you know, Dennis is creating the dirty air for you, so it makes it a little bit tougher. But and then we see you come off a 4 with a hell of a run, and I think you needed about 30 more foot, and I think you'd have had him.
Only the finish line was like it was at Dega.
Exactly. But
It was fun though. Dennis is always a hard competitor to race around, and I just given him my all to go on ahead and get by him so I could get a run up there towards the 18. I just couldn't make
Right.
it work. The car was really, really good this week. There was a lot of points where it was really tight mid-run, and then fresh tires, the thing just sticks and wants to go. Picked up a
yeah.
great amount of temp.
Yep.
Thing started, so it was just, oh man, it was better than what I've expected it was going to be honest with you. I was reserved for like a 7th to 10th place finish.
See, you took 3rd, so now you've got to figure out a way to calm down enough to go to sleep tonight. But
Exactly, my plan is I'm going to play Hogwarts Legacy, watch Harry Potter,
See-
and do some other things I'm not going to say on stream.
see, you got it all figured out.
Yep, I got a
So-
plan. Unlike Dutch, it's going to work.
There you go. Well, 3rd place on the night. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before I let you go?
Shout out to Josh for putting on this every week. Same with you guys, helping out everything that you guys do. I appreciate it. This league as a whole is awesome. I want to thank everyone out there that was racing me hard but clean. I want to thank the 6 as well. He was a lap down and I was coming up behind him, and he stayed on the bottom so I can get by him. He was racing me, but he made sure there was way more than enough air so we didn't get tangled up. So it's a lot of respect, and I appreciate that from him. It was just a really good race, and almost went the whole thing green, man. The whole thing.
We've had a couple this year. We're bound to get a caution some point, you know. So
Yeah, I know. It's just we were right there, and I'm
Oh, I
glad it
know.
didn't happen, because otherwise I wouldn't be here.
exactly. See, there's always a silver lining to it.
Just gotta look hard enough, buddy. Just gotta look hard
Exactly.
enough.
Exactly. Well, congrats on the 3rd place tonight, Dustin. You're probably gonna want to go watch that back, because that last 10 laps was or well, I guess it was 6 laps, was a hell of a dog
I get
fight
some
tonight.
good publicity.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
You, got-
all right,
you
we'll
and
go
Dennis were on more than Bowen was. So
Nothing against phone, but nice. I like getting screen time, man.
exactly. So all right, buddy. Well, I'm gonna let you go. Hopefully we can talk to you again next week. But if I don't, good luck next
Yeah.
week.
Hey, here's hoping. If I don't end up finishing good, you might need to get mid-rec reports from good old Dusty.
Oh, we could get some funny ones. I'll pull you in for one.
Hey, have a good day.
All right, buddy. Good night. All right, Dustin Haynes, everybody. Well, that is it for us tonight. I will we won't be on tomorrow night. So we'll be on Friday night. We'll have the NASCAR 3D stuff. So be on the lookout for that. I may stream the NIS. I don't know. It is COTA, and I've actually been fairly lucky this week at COTA. So, you know, I got to give it up to Crown Over in Savoy with that rough wreck there at the end. Man, I feel for both of you. It sucks to have it end that way, but all in all, you two put on one hell of a show. Jesse, even for that matter, battling with you guys. But on that note, guys, we're gonna call it a night. I will catch all of you at some point on Friday. And don't forget, we got Fast Car Sunday night. You don't want to miss it. We'll be here about 7:30. We'll get Slow Car going. That'll be in the hosted, and then Fast Car will be via the league stuff. So be on the lookout for that. So if we don't catch you Friday night, we'll for sure catch you Sunday. But everybody have a great rest of your week. We'll see you guys Friday night.